Hey, this is Kevin Muller coming at you with another tip of helping to get rid of those social media meme monsters. This is a continuing drama or saga, if you will, of how we as marketers can put our attention where it is best going to be utilized. And that's not to say that you can't follow people who don't reciprocate. It doesn't mean there's not other value, but if you're really wanting to get rid of those little meme monsters, this is going to be another tip on how to do that. So a friend of mine, James Mitchell, asked today, how do we look through who's following us on Twitter and get rid of the spammers, the ones that are not, that are spamming us? Well, one way you can do that is using what's called twitblock.org, okay? And twitblock.org is a free service. So we're just going to sign in with Twitter here, and it will authenticate. Okay, and so now it says, you can see I'm authenticated, I'm logged in, and let's go ahead and scan for spam. And it's going to go ahead and scan through my followers, and it's going to start to build a list of confidence based on some criteria as to who it thinks are spammers, the less savory types. Okay, and it's giving it a score over here on the left as to how certain they are that they're spammers. Okay, and some of the criteria we can look while it's still building here. Some of the criteria they look for is how many other people are ignoring them. So how many people are, they're following, but the percentage of people following them back is very low. So here we see 86% of the people that I Love iPads follows do not follow them back. Okay, so that's one signal. The follower rate. So they have a very high per day add-on. So they're adding a lot of followers per day. They're very active every single day. So the average over 8 days is 216 per day. Okay, and 186 of those per day don't follow back. So that's a pretty good indicator. They're blocked. So this is other people that have logged into Twitblock and have said, spammer, ditch them. Okay. There are 3 duplicate avatars. Now this is really useful for me because you can very quickly go through there and say, wow, look at this. I mean, this is the same hot chick in every single one of them, and so probably it's not a real person, especially if it's a dude's name. 3 empty profile fields, so you can go through and you can see that as well. So anyway, it just starts to build at least some signals that you can take a look at, and I see it's still going here, and you can start going through it. So let's look at this one. The first thing that we want to do is kind of look through here and say, yeah, that does look pretty spammy to me, but let's just make sure that we don't make a mistake here. And I'm going to go ahead and click, and you'll see it opens in another window, and now we can look at their profile. And some of the signals that we can start to look for here is, all right, how many tweets do they have? 94. Okay, not that great, especially considering that they're following 1,857 people, and they only have 258 followers. So you can see they're adding a ton of people in hopes that anybody is going to pay attention to them and do something. They're not on any lists whatsoever, which again is a bad sign. Lists by themselves are not a good indicator because they can be gamed, but again, it's part of the signals. We can see there's basically no profile information for this individual at all. So again, a very strong indicator that it's a junk throwaway account that they don't give much credence to, so we shouldn't either. And of course you can look in here and see who is following them back that I also follow. Or I'm sorry, your both follow is down here, and then they're also followed by these people up here. So just looking at the profile, you can go down through here and you can see me. It's all about me. Buy something from me. You get the idea. This person is a me monster, and I wish to get rid of them. So I can simply say block. I'm not going to report them for spam, okay, necessarily. Sometimes I will if I really have a solid idea that it's nothing more than one of these that comes out and says, buy an iPad or get an iPad for free here, sign in here, here's a link, and it's wrapped in a bit.ly link that's wrapped in a Google shortener link that's wrapped in a tiny URL. So anyway, so we can go on, and it's still scanning through these followers, but again, real quickly you can start to go through here. Oh, we have, here's one of the favorite types. We can open this one up, and the only thing that it's missing is a puppy. Is a fairly attractive lady, and there's no puppy, but okay. And it's actually a girl's name this time, which is kind of a refreshing thing. But you can see over here we're seeing pretty much the same type of a scenario where they have very low tweets. All of their tweets are pretty much garbage. They're quotes, they're stuff that's just automated. Now, one thing I can help you with, one other signal here that we can look at, and I don't like that Twitter made this more difficult to find out, but if you click here on the tweet, you can see what was used. This was done via the web, which is kind of uncommon. A lot of these you'll see was done from Twitter feed, which again isn't necessarily bad, but if all of them are from Twitter feed, and there's other APIs that people can use, and then you would have a stronger indication that that is a spammy account. But Twitter kind of hid that. If you're using a something like TweetDeck, you can see in there now still what they use to tweet. So anyway, here's that's a couple of quick tips. You can go down through here really quick and block these people that are not really contributing anything. I kind of take this lightly. I don't take this lightly, rather. I'm only going to block people if I really think that they're out and out spam. Because, for one, I've heard some people say, well, more followers, that can't be bad. I mean, what's bad about that? Well, if I'm looking through a profile trying to decide who I'm going to follow, and I see that they're being followed by a lot of spam type things, I'm going to be. I don't think that they're managing their account very well. Maybe that's an incorrect assumption, but I think maybe they're just after the followers. Sometimes it gets away from you, though. But also some of if you're into this whole clout, Twitalizer, peer index, etc., some of those do look to see how much spam you have following you as well, and it can affect your rating if you're into that kind of thing. Okay, so anyway, there's just a quick tip. I hope it helps you weed out some of these social media meme monsters, and make sure and check out my other articles on it. There's some good tips in there too, and follow @KMullet on Twitter, and it's KMULLETT. Have a great day.